Hey everyone! Welcome back. I am back today with more Ruby, you guys. I cannot wait to see where we are going, what's going to happen on the show. I love this show. If you're joining me early today, you already know what it means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so much. And as always, I'm sending you up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So, wow, we have just been doing a lot on this show. So basically, we had this great scene where, for the first time, like Ruby and some of the, I guess you would call them like authority figures, actually have like kind of a conversation about what's been going on. And Ozpin was like smart not to like press it or anything like that, but it became pretty obvious to him that, you know, they had been doing some extracurricular activities, let's put it that way, and they knew quite a bit about this, which on the one hand, it's like, don't sneak off, but like Ironwood had a good point when he was telling Ruby, like, you did everything a huntress should. Like, they really do take initiative, you know. I feel like some of the teams that we have here, like Ruby and what do they call John's? Juniper, like they're very, they do take initiative, you know, like they, I think they're a little bit more maybe aware of their surroundings, I guess, you know, like I don't know, like I feel with Ruby we have, and also with Juniper, we have a lot of different individuals from different walks of life. And when you put all that knowledge together, it's really pretty interesting to see like what you can come up with and what you can kind of deduce and investigate and everything on your own. So, yeah, it occurred to me that like, that's the first time we've ever like had them kind of speaking together about this. I hope that's something we see more and more. I think they're going to be, sadly, I think we're going to kind of come to a time when like they're going to be called upon to get a little bit more involved in this whole thing. So I think it's good that we're kind of establishing that dialogue right now. So now we're off on a mission. It's not really a mission. They're kind of like shadowing. It's like learning purposes. We know we saw Velvet, who was the bunny ear girl from a while back, and she must be a little bit further ahead. It sounded like it sounded like her team was actually like more participating in the action. And she said, well, you guys will be all right because you're just shadowing a hunter. So I guess she had a little bit more of like involvement, her team did, in the action. So we are just shadowing, but you know if things go south, like you know our kids are just going to like jump into action, even though they're first years. So okay, so Yang is also a first year and Ruby's a first year. I guess Ruby got in early because they're not the same. They're not like twins. They had different moms. So, because I remember like Weiss kind of saying something to that effect that like she was still a kid and got in. So she's like, a little early, I guess, to begin. So anyway, so we found out who our hunter is, and I am excited personally. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. What do you say we go ahead and get started and see what's going to happen next? Let's go.
Professor Yes, I'm afraid those bags won't be necessary, girls. Seeing as you've opted to shadow a huntsman on what is now essentially a reconnaissance mission, I can assure you we will not be establishing a single base of operations. Rather, we will be traversing several miles of hazardous wasteland and making camp in any defendable locations we may stumble upon. I packed all of our essentials myself, brought the air course, and readied the airship. And it's Dr. Oobleck. I didn't earn the PhD for fun. Thank you very much. Come now, children. According to my schedule, we are already 3 minutes behind schedule.
Well, all right then. Look, you're going on world-saving missions without us. I'm sad. Maybe a little hungry. That last one's not your fault, though. Ren.
That was exciting. Where are you going?
Well, just as a...
Then you can party with us tonight. We're shadowing a crime specialist. All inner-city detective stuff. We get you in your badges.
John.
I'm going to the city with you guys, which means stuff's always exploding in junk. So we thought this might be a better way to check out the kingdom when it's, you know, normal?
Well,
Minutes, ladies.
I don't... Awkward.
Wish us luck.
Yeah. Oh boy. That doctor needs to switch to decaf. Also John and his being like, crime?
I've been as a huntsman. I've had my fair share of tussles.
Like the mushroom?
Those are truffles.
Like the sprout?
Those are Brussels.
Given my expertise
Aw.
in history as well as my
Ruby
dabblings
confusing
in
things.
archaeological surveys, our dear headmaster saw fit to assign me to this particular assignment.
What does history have to do with this?
Oh, what a preposterous question, you silly girl. My history is the
Why did you
backbone of
ask?
our very society. And the liver. Probably the kidneys, if I were to wager.
And that means...
The southeast quadrant outside of Vale is home to wild forests and deep caves. But it is also the location to one of the kingdom's greatest failures.
Mountain Glen.
That's right. It was an expansion of Vale. But in the end, it was overrun by Grimm and fenced off from the rest of the city.
Correct.
Interesting.
Now stands abandoned.
And a likely place for a hideout.
Precisely.
Yeah, this actually seems like it would make a very good hideout. That may not have been the best choice to just leave it there. Also, there was like a failed part of society that they just like... That's news. Bro, you do not need any more of that coffee. You are good. You need to switch out with some water or something.
From this point forward, you need to do exactly as I say. Do you understand? Ruby! I told you to leave all your bags back at school.
But, you hadn't told us to listen to you yet.
There you go.
Didn't.
Mm-hmm.
She's not wrong.
She's like, she got
here,
me.
we can pick it up upon our return.
But well...
Young lady, what in the world could you possibly have in that bag that could be so important to bring away?
It's not. Oh my god, it's the dog. Oh my god, she brought the dog. It's too late.
To investigate an abandoned urban jungle teeming with death and hostility. And you brought a dog. Genius!
Okay.
Canines are historically known for the perceptive nose and heightened sense of sound, making them excellent companions.
The dog's like, wee.
I'm a genius.
So, what are your orders, Doctor?
Ah, yes. Straight to the chase. I like it. As you've been
Oh,
this
doggy!
area has been marked as a recent hotspot for grim activity.
just dropped
There are
him.
several possible explanations for this behavior. One of
What?
Grim, a creature of Grim, approximately 100 yards from us at this very moment.
What?
Well, the dog didn't bark or anything.
Stop.
How long do we wait?
It's uncertain. Hours, days, weeks. Why, lone Grim have been known to stay isolated from the pack for months, and there's the whole pack.
And there's a whole pack.
They've seen us.
What?
And now they've seen us.
I take it dragging us out of the question?
An accurate assumption? Yes.
What's the plan then?
Run would be a good plan.
Show me what you're capable of.
Oh, there we go. Fight him. Oh, doggy. So interesting. So the Grimm are attracted to negative emotions? Oh, I love the style that they're doing this, and that's really cool. So the Grimm are not even like, it's not just that they don't have souls. I mean, they are literally just like representations of badness in like the form of a giant animal. I love Crescent Rose. Oh, look at the dog, he's just spinning around. He's just spinning around. He's not doing anything. That's okay. He doesn't need to. He's a dog.
It's a cake.
Do not celebrate yet, for I am certain this is the first bout of many. Shall we continue?
Nice. Oh, they're going to get a lot of practice in, battle practice.
Fortunately, there doesn't seem to be any signs of criminal operations in this sector.
So what were they attracted
Oh,
to?
well, moving on.
Just came out for a snack, I guess?
Not every mission is filled with daring and heroism, girls. Sometimes it's just a heightened form of extermination. Remember, this is a job, and you all signed up for it. I do hope you understand.
I mean, I too kind of thought it was a little bit more about battle, but that's a good point.
Why did you choose this line of work?
Huh? Well, to fight monsters and
Well,
save...
that is what you do. I want to know why you do it. The honest reason as to why you want to be a huntress.
The honest reason?
Yes.
I'm a thrill seeker. I want to travel around the world and get wrapped up in as many crazy adventures as I can. And if I help people along the way, then that's even better. It's a win-win, you know?
I see.
Okay. He's like studying them.
A girl born.
It's exactly as you said. I'm a Shneen. I have a legacy of honor to uphold. Once I realized I was capable of fighting, there was no longer a question of what I would do with my life. It was my duty.
Interesting.
Obligation.
There's too much wrong in this world to just stand by and do nothing. Inequality, corruption, someone has to stop it.
Very well. How?
Oh. There's a question I don't think she'd really thought about. Oh, turkey snack.
Sorry.
Your leader and I are going to secure the perimeter. Come, Ruby.
Okay, now he's gonna talk to Ruby. Oh, he's like, interesting, he's gathering information on them. There's a lot more, I guess, to being a hunter or huntress than just fighting.
I'm afraid your sniper rifle will do nothing more than agitate a grim of that size.
But what
Oh.
if it attacks us?
Fret not, Ruby. Those Goliaths are not concerned with us. Ruby, not every groom is mindless. Or rather, not every groom is still mindless. See,
What?
the Grimm you see before you are so powerful, so superior to the Grimm you fought, that they've undoubtedly lived hundreds of years. And in that
Okay.
time between killing humans and attacking our borders, they've done one important thing.
Yes.
They've learned.
They've
They've
learned.
learned that when they attack our borders, they're likely to die. And what we lack in strength, we make up for in will. And killing one human will only bring more.
Then why are they still so close to the city? What are they doing?
That's a good question. Waiting. Planning their next move. Oh, they can learn. So they're not like without intelligence, you know? That's interesting.
Why did you want to become a huntsman?
Look
Oh.
around and tell me what you see.
Lots of old buildings, empty streets.
I see lives that could have been saved. As a huntsman, it is my job to protect the people. And although I am capable of doing it with traditional weaponry, I believe I can make a much larger impact if I do it with my mind. As a
Interesting.
teacher, I'm able to take knowledge, the most powerful weapon of them all, and place it into the hands of every student that passes through my classroom. I look at this wasteland and I see lives that could have been saved. But I also see an opportunity to study these ruins and learn from this tragedy, and
Interesting.
therefore become stronger.
Learn from
I
your
am a huntsman,
mistakes.
because there is nothing else in this world I would rather be.
Wow. I like that she asked him too. Like he's been asking all the girls.
Earlier, about upholding the legacy. There's more to it than that.
Yeah. No, me too. I mean, I don't know. I don't know either. I know what I want to do, but I figured I'd always take things one step at a time. Well,
They haven't
it
really
doesn't
planned
matter.
it.
We know why we're here. Right?
Fire! Oh, warm.
Oh.
Eat your dinners and hurry to bed. We have a lot of ground to cover tomorrow, and we'll need you to take turns keeping watch over our temporary abode. Any volunteers for first watch?
Yo,
Yo.
Did Oobleck ask you why you wanted to be a huntress? I mean, what did you tell him?
no, he didn't. Weird. Oh well, good night, guys.
I wonder why he wouldn't ask her. Is it because it's obvious? I don't know. It really got them thinking though about like what their real motives are. Okay, I really enjoyed that episode. Before we move on to the next one, I'll just point out that, there were some really interesting things established here. Like, what are all the girls' real motives for being there? And we kind of know, we've gotten to know them a little bit more, but like to hear them talk about it or see them like trying to think about it and figure it out for themselves is actually really interesting. And I think it also presents the idea that being a huntsman or huntress doesn't necessarily have to be all combat. There are a lot of different ways to go about it. And I actually really liked what the professor was saying about, yes, he can traditionally fight and use weapons and everything, but he has an ability that's even more powerful than that in some cases, and that's to kind of learn from the mistakes of the past and gather information and pass that on to future generations. And that alone is like a very, very powerful skill and powerful ability. And it's funny because for all his like jumpiness and kind of like weirdness, that was really what he was saying about, you know, all these lives could have been saved. You can tell he really is dedicated to his work. You know, it's not just the caffeine. Like, he really is dedicated. Interesting that he wouldn't ask Ruby. I wonder why. That is very intriguing. But the three other girls, you know, I see what they're saying, but I do agree. Like, I think there is more to it. Like, with Yang, I was kind of surprised it didn't have more to do with, like, her past and her mom and everything. With Weiss, I know she has a responsibility to uphold as a member of her family, but I feel like it does go a little bit deeper than that. And with Blake, we know like what she's all about, but this whole time I feel like they have been building up her not really necessarily knowing how to go about it, or like we get that you want to do that, but like, what is your plan? And so it got them all thinking. I'm just really curious as to like why he wouldn't ask Ruby. So I guess there's only one way to find out, and that is to jump into the next episode, and let's go.
I've trusted him for years. We both have. I can't help but feel like he's keeping us in the dark.
Don't be ridiculous.
So he is in charge.
You know very well that we are not the ones in the dark. You're a good person, James. You've always done what you think is best for the people, even against strong protest. It's admirable. But it's high time you stopped talking about trust and started showing it. Ozpin has experience that the rest of us lack, and I think that's something worth remembering.
It must be hard to be like, kind of feel like you don't know what's going on, but you gotta just kind of take his word for it.
Why do you think he asked us about being a huntress? Like, what was he trying to say? Maybe he was just curious. You think? No.
He was questioning them?
Are you awake?
Of course I'm awake. You keep talking. And I think when I said I wanted to honor my family's name, I meant it. But it's not what you think. I'm not stupid. I'm fully aware of what my father has done with the Schnee Dust Company. Since he took control, our business has operated in a moral gray area.
Okay.
That's putting it lightly.
Which is why I feel the need to make things right. If I had taken a job in Atlas, it wouldn't have changed anything. My father was not the start of our name, and I refuse to let him be the end of it.
Okay.
All my life, I fought for what I thought was right. I had a partner named Adam. More of a mentor, actually. He always assured me that what we were doing would make the world a better place. But of course, his idea of a perfect future turned out to be not perfect for everyone.
Right.
I joined the academy because I knew huntsmen and huntresses were regarded as the most noble warriors in the world, always fighting for good. But I never really thought past that. When I leave the academy, how can I undo so many years of hate?
I'm sure you'll figure it out. You're not one to back down from a challenge, Blake.
But I am. I do it all the time. When you learned I was a faunus, I didn't know what to do, so I ran. When I realized my oldest partner had become a monster, I ran. Even my semblance. I was born with the ability to leave behind a shadow of myself. An empty copy that takes the hit while I run away.
Oh, wow. That's powerful stuff.
I've just kind of always gone with the flow, you know? And that's fine. I mean, that's who I am. But how long can I really do that for? I want to be a huntress. Not really because I want to be a hero, but because I want the adventure. I want a life where I won't know what tomorrow will bring, and that'll be a good thing. Being a huntress just happens to line up with that.
So
I'm
not...
not like Ruby. She's always wanted to be a huntress. It's like she said, ever since she was a kid, she dreamt about being the heroes in the books, helping people and saving the day, and never asking for anything else in return. Even when she couldn't fight, she knew that's what she wanted to do.
That was part of her
That's
even.
why she trained so hard to... I mean, look where we are. In the middle of a war zone and armed to the teeth. It's the life we chose. It's a job. We all had this romanticized vision of being a huntress in our heads. But at the end of the day, it's a job to protect the people. And whatever we want will have to come second.
Oh, that's what he wanted to start a dialogue. He wanted to get them thinking and hear what was really going on. That was awesome. We learned so much about them. What's the matter, doggy?
Why, it's late. Go back to bed.
What's the matter, Papa?
Fly.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Go get the doggy. Oh, God, if anything happens to that dog, I'm going to Hulk smash some equipment. I can't handle that. Oh, he just had to tinkle.
Wasteland. You literally could have done that anywhere.
He's like, I'm a good dog. I go outside. Oh, puppy's so good. What's the matter, Papa?
I thought I heard a bale with something.
Yeah, that's not
Just
bad.
finish up patrol and get back to base.
Oh, man, so they are hiding out there. Doggy, no! I thought he was going to chase after them. Ruby, don't go back and get the others, Ruby. I guess she wants to see where they're going. The dog's like,
Did
whoop.
they go in yet? One bark means yes.
Honey, no, he can't. Oh, he did.
This is it.
That dog is smart.
Oh, man. Come on. We
Go
gotta
back,
get
yeah.
this.
Go back. Go back and tell them. No! Oh! Oh my God, the dog! Oh, doggy is safe. Go get help, doggy. Oh no, Ruby! Go get help! Oh my Lord! The ground gave in. The earth gave way. There's an underground place too? She doesn't have her weapon. Great.
Hey, hands off.
Oh, Ruby!
I want to see this one.
Oh, God, Ruby!
Hey, Weiss.
I will not tolerate anyone hitting her like that.
Ruby?
Puppy has a message. Lead
What's
them.
going on?
Lead them to her.
Weapons. Your leader may be in trouble.
Yes. No, Ruby! Oh, see, no, I can't tolerate anyone, like, hurting her. I can't tolerate that.
Hey, be careful.
Trying to do blow us to the moon?
Maybe that's how the moon got
Found something
messed
you might
up.
want to see. Is it good or bad, Perry? Because let me
Oh,
tell you,
great.
I have had a day.
No!
It's a little girl? That would be bad.
Ruby's safe. Oh no.
Oh.
Do you think she fell?
Val!
Down there.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Magic Land! Yes, an expansion of Vale that was inevitably destroyed by creatures of Grimm, previously home to thousands of people, working people, commuting to the city, the main city, developed a subway system to the inner city. Grimm's attack
Underground.
increased. Population in danger, now desperately searching for shelter. City evacuates into metro tunnels, and what do they find? The southeast quadrant of Vale is known for wild forests and deep caves.
Duh, what are you saying?
He's like,
My dear, we're not just looking for an
dog.
underground crime network. We're looking for an underground crime network.
They've been working in caves?
That would make sense.
Glenn was Vale's first serious attempt at The citizens of the territory made one last attempt at survival. They took up shelter beneath the city.
Oh.
Massive caves that they had cleared out for the subway. And they had cut themselves off from the surface.
An underground village?
In a matter of speaking, yes.
Oh.
A safe haven.
Are there more people down there?
An explosion opened the mouth of another cavern. Filled with subterranean grim. After that,
Subterranean Grim?
the kingdom officially sealed off the tunnels, creating the world's largest tomb. If Ruby is down there,
Oh no.
we must find her.
Yeah. Yes. Subterranean Grim? I don't even want to know what that looks like. All right, you guys, let's talk. Okay, so now I get what the professor was doing. He was not so much trying to get the answer when he asked them. He was trying to get them thinking and trying to get a dialogue started between them so that they could really figure it out for themselves and discover the real answer. It does make a lot of sense about Yang just kind of like wanting adventure. But it was very interesting to hear about Weiss. And we know that she's had some like issues with her dad. But it was really interesting to hear her like actually come out and say like, I believe in this company. I know that I can make it better. I know that the things that he's done are wrong. And I want to take responsibility and turn things around. That's actually a huge burden to carry around for like a young girl. And I gotta say, like, it definitely ups my respect for Weiss a lot. And I was already like, I was getting on board with Weiss, but that's, you know, she wants to rectify things, you know. She's kind of looking for atonement for what her father's done, and I feel like Blake is looking for atonement for what she's done. And she kind of like joined up knowing the basic cause of hunters and huntresses, but didn't really give a lot of thought as to like how she was going to carry out doing that. Just she doesn't know how else to make up for the things that she's been a part of. And I did not even like put this together about her semblance, but that is actually so cool and such a powerful thought and concept that even her semblance is like the shadow where like it takes a hit while she runs away, and her MO has just been to run away. To be fair, like getting out of the White Fang was a good thing to do, but I can see how like, you know, someone that apparently meant a lot to her and just like running off on him really affected her. And kind of we saw it with her new friends here where like she was kind of backed into a corner and she ran off. But she recognizes that and she's thinking about it now, and she's like still super young and has a lot of great ideals, and like I know she'll figure it out. But Yang's kind of right, like they kind of have like deeper, heavier things that they're setting out to do, and she's just kind of like she wants to kind of live life by the seat of her pants, and she also gets to help people, so great. But that is who she is, you know, and there's nothing wrong with not having like a tragic, you know, origin story. Well, she had some stuff in her past too, but you know, it doesn't mean that you can't do good or that you're not like a whole person or anything. It's just kind of, I'm sure, up against like when you're comparing and contrasting your motivations, I can see why she'd be like, ugh. But Ruby has just always wanted to be, just has like a hero's heart, you know. Oh my God, Ruby. I cannot tolerate someone punching her. I cannot tolerate someone kicking her. I really can't tolerate anyone hurting the dog, and I'm just so very glad the dog didn't fall down there, because if they had hurt the dog, I would have started Hulk smashing equipment, monitors, cameras, whatever. Like, it would have been bad. So I'm glad the dog was all right, and he went back and got help because he's a good dog. But that was kind of a, like I said, no pun intended, but it's kind of a grim thought that a lot of the people from that city had tried to escape underground to these like subway tunnels that they were making, and you know, there were Grimm there. Like they probably didn't even know there were Grimm there because they had never like lived underground, but then got like basically buried under there when they just sealed it all off, and Ruby had fallen through one of the seals, I guess. Of course. I knew when I heard his voice off in the distance when they were bringing her in, I'm like, oh God, no, it's Roman. But that makes a lot of sense as to how they would run an operation that big without leaving more of a trace. You know, being in this kind of cut off part in the first place was a good idea for that, and also being underground, you know, it's very, very hidden, very secret. So in fact, I don't even know if a lot of other people would have known besides the professor that they had done like the underground stuff there. It's a good thing they brought the history professor. Like, now I totally get why they sent him, because that's that is a scenario where you would really want all of that historical info to be able to see the whole picture and make the best decision. But oh my God, I didn't even realize it until that moment where like she was getting punched and kicked and everything. I'm like, no, 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 no. Like, I would die for this child. Do not touch her. Was about to leap at my screen. That was a great episode. Really just, I just love the way that they're doing the story. They do such a good job of balancing like the fun, the silliness, the action, the character development. And it's certainly not like they're willing to go there in a lot of ways. Like they will like punch Ruby or something. And it's, so it's fun and kind of lighthearted as it is. You can see that like, the threat is very real. So, oh guys, I cannot wait to see what happens next. Hashtag pray for Ruby. I think Ruby's gonna be all right. If I had to guess, she's kind of like the main character. I mean, I think the four of them are like the main characters, but, I think she's gonna be fine, but I still just don't approve of her being in trouble, and I say, let's fix it. So, guys, I had a blast with those episodes. I hope you enjoyed watching along with me. I cannot wait to see what happens next. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please be sure to join me next time, and we will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.